So I get a lot of people who reach out to me quite often, actually, via email or on social media or phone or Zoom calls. People want to have a Zoom meeting, asking me about my business model and how I did that. And they want to kind of just pick my brain, and they're like, wow, that's really cool. Like, how did you do that? I need to do that. I want to do that. So they reach out to me and just kind of want to pick my brain about my business model, because my business model is quite different, and I've managed to do something actually pretty extraordinary with this particular business. In the way that I have, it's different, which is, I knew it was different when I did it, but I didn't realize like how different it really was until later on. And then, so it's really been wonderful, and I'm always flattered, and I'm always happy to help, and I always do that. But so they want to know, how did you do that? How did you get to that level? How did you charge these prices? How did you get these kinds of clients who pay these prices? And how did you get to this point where you're making this amount of money and have this kind of freedom and everything like that? And what they want is the model information, the how-tos, the steps, and I'm happy to give it. And I give that away in my free Feast or Famine No More course. I basically give that model away. That's how I created that model. In my free Feast or Famine No More course, the course that leads up to offering you the full Feast or Famine No More course, total transparency. I give all that information away, the tactical steps, the practical steps. And they want to know how I did that. And I'm happy to give that information. But the funny thing is that you can take those tactical steps, but that's not how I did that. That was the very first step I did. Realizing, okay, this is the model I want. This is the amount of people I want to work with. This is the set price. These are the prices I want to receive. This is what my time is worth to me. This is the kind of time I want to work. This is the time I want to take. So the model part was the first part of the equation for me. But that was just step one. My Feast or Famine No More full course and all of the things that I offer around mindset are the most important part of that. I'm not playing here. I am not kidding. Because when I set that model, I'm happy to tell you how I did the model. But I was not able to achieve that model until I worked through all of that emotional stuff. And people don't want to, a lot of times, a lot of people do, and they're happy to, and they do their own work. But most of the time, a lot of people don't, they're not interested in that. No, I don't want to do all that emotional work stuff. What does that have to do with it? No, I don't want to do that. I just want you to tell me the model and I'll replicate that. Okay, great. Replicate it. But that's not how it works. Because trying to reach a different level in your business and ask people for more money and do all these things is going to bring up a lot of stuff in you that you're not going to be able to hang with until you do that work on a continual basis. And so that's why I'm always preaching that, and that's why I'm always saying that. I'm happy to give you those tips and tricks, and I know you don't want to do the emotional work, but you have to. This money mindset stuff is how you can use this model. If you want to use this model, wonderful. But you're going to need some support. It doesn't have to be from me, but you do have to do your work on your blocks to receiving abundance, your blocks to receiving the money that you say you want, because you have a lot of them, trust me. Otherwise, you would already be at getting those kinds of prices that you want and getting the kinds of clients you want. You would already do that, and it would just feel natural to you, but you don't, because there are some things about that and about where you are that you're not quite ready to accept yet. That's how it's been for me at each level, and I'm at my own next level thing that I'm working towards. And every single day I'm working on what is coming up for me and what's in the way of that. And that's why it is so, so, so vital to do this mindset and emotional work. And so, because I hear from some people that, it's just kind of too much. It's like too deep. And like, just give me the steps. Just give me the steps. And I'm like, okay, here's the steps. See you in a little while. Not necessarily with me, but it's going to bring up stuff. And I just know because I've just been through it so many times, and I'm at it again. I'm at it again where I'm at. So I'm not like at some place where I figured it out. I'm at the next stage of it. But it's like, it's always going to be a part of this work. So I just wanted to share that because it was an interesting realization I had, because it's so just like I was when I first kind of started having my entering my 40s mental breakdown, which was, I just wanted, like, Brene Brown tells this story about how she went to therapy and she's like, okay, I've got 6 weeks. I want to wrap this up because I've got stuff to do. I've got 6 weeks to work out my shit, and then I'm wrapping it up and I'm moving on. And I saw that was exactly how I was when I first started going into this work in myself. I just wanted it to be neat and tidy. I wanted it to be 10 steps, and I wanted it to be like just doable like that, just easy like that. I didn't want it to be messy, and I didn't want to look at some of that ugly stuff in there. But I had to, and I still have to. And that is what got me here. And it's what's going to get me to the next levels that I'm working towards. And that is what you need as well. So if you're resisting that in yourself in any way, and like I said, this is not about you have to do my course and you have to be part of my membership community or anything like that. It's not about that. It's just about whoever that is for you, whatever system that works for you. That might be therapy for you. It might be a combination of both. It might be some courses, some books, some classes. For me, it was loads and loads and loads of books, a couple of classes, and therapy. So it was like all the things for me. But whatever that looks like for you, whatever you want that to be for you, that's what you should do. Because the model and the means, all that's the easy stuff. It's the ways that we're patterned inside and the things that we believe about ourselves and our intrinsic belief systems that we've inherited from our families. That's the stuff that's hard and messy. So I just encourage you to dig into that in whatever ways feel right for you. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.